Welcome to day 3 of the Writing Your Novel in a Month challenge. Today we're going to be continuing discussing our protagonist and getting to know him better. Your protagonist, of course, as you know, is the main character. And today we're going to talk about getting into his history, getting to know who he was in the past. So you want to put this, of course, in your character Bible under character history. And you'll also want to put this in the section of your book before chapter 1. Now, what you'll be doing is, you'll be able to use this like in flashbacks or whatever. But the main thing that you're doing is you're figuring out who this character is. You're learning more about him, how he's different from you, and so on. Here are some questions that you want to ask your protagonist. You want to ask him things like, what was his parents like? How was he brought up? What culture did he grow up in? What are his values? What are some of the stories that happened to him before the story started? We'll get into more of that in a minute. Ask him about it, what created his strengths. Why is he able to do what he's able to do? And what caused his weaknesses? What are the problem areas in his life? Don't shy away from his flaws. Perfect character never or rarely rings true to reader experiences. An important thing to remember is that your protagonist is not you. And unless you're creating a protagonist who is exactly like you want to figure out how she thinks differently than you, so that you want to get inside their head. One of the techniques that I use as a writer when developing my protagonist history is to ask the character for stories from his past, and it's kind of fun because it's amazing what you'll discover. For instance, one of the techniques I use is um, in trying to get inside your protagonist's head is to ask him have him say, "I remember when," and then just write whatever comes to mind, whatever is there. It might start out as nonsense, but suddenly stories will start showing up. Like you'll discover that, like I discovered that one of the important events when he was a child was the death of his sister. Um, Joe's older sister died, a few years before. Um, and it still affects him. It affected his mother greatly, and it affected him and nobody really thought about it, and he didn't think about it until later in the story. We'll discover more about, why in my story I'll discover more about, you know, how this affected him and it's affecting his life today. Um, um, as you go on, you may want, like I said, you may want to in, put this history into aspects of this history into your story, but not all of it has to go in, but it'll be there in between the lines. You'd be amazed at what rings true to the reader because of your study of your protagonist. Well, that's all for today. It's gonna be quite a bit of work. But I believe that it'll make a big difference if you get right into this and start using your imagination to create. This is something that AI can't do for you. It's you get inside your character's head and learn his history, learn his past. And I hope this was good for you, and we'll see you on day 4. Bye now.